Currently, our city council uses two basic fundamentals to make all of their decisions, especially the ones involving money. The first one is, don't do anything that increases the cost of a new construction home. The second is, do everything that you can to do the most good for existing wealth and place the most cost and pain onto the lowest income people and the people who consume the lowest amount of resources. I'm confident that Dave Gardner will break this groupthink right now, and I accuse all 9 city councils of using those two fundamentals. He will break that and start to apply common sense as the norm rather than the exception. Common sense as the norm rather than the exception. I'll give you a couple of examples. Do you believe that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure? If you take a look at how the city council right now is going about the budget cuts, the things that they will do will cost 10, 12 times as much to repair. So save $1,000 now, pay $12,000 next year. I'm not ready to do that, and that's why I want Dave Gardner in city council. Here's a list of why you cannot afford not to vote for Dave. If you use less than 600 kilowatt hours per month of electricity, you cannot afford to not support Dave Gardner. If you have less than 7,500 square feet of impervious surface, you cannot afford to not support Dave Gardner. If you don't currently plan to live in Banning Lewis Ranch, you cannot afford to not support Dave Gardner. If you believe that the quality of air, land, and water are fundamentals of quality of life, you cannot afford to not support Dave Gardner. If you believe that much of our city council has been doing what they've been doing, hasn't been working, you cannot afford to not vote and not support Dave Gardner. If you believe that the troops, when we say we support the troops, is more than just a mobile stimulus package, each one of the troops, that they're actually human beings that want to be part of a community. I'm a retired military officer. I fit into that. I know what it's like to move to a new community. We look at them as if they can buy a house that they really can't afford. We can sell them a car or two that they really can't afford and get them into trouble so that we can then try to help them out of trouble. That's not what communities do to people, especially young troops. And that's what we've got. And we've got people just salivating for 5,000 new troops coming to Fort Carson. If you believe that supporting the troops is more than just selling them a few big items that they really can't afford, you cannot afford to not vote for Dave Gardner. Dave has sustained a proven track record of stepping into the arena of the politics in this city. I've been there with him, I've been ignored with him, but he's kept on doing, he has persevered, and I give him a lot of credit for that. It's not easy to stand up in front of city council with a viable solution to a problem and have 9 sets of eyes looking at you as they glaze over, not even listening to what you have to say. I must say that Jan Martin has broken that cycle. So when you talk to the 9, you at least get 1 that listens to you. But the other 8 ignore Dave and I, and we can speak from experience. Dave is smart enough, that common sense thing I talked about before, to know if you were digging a hole and you can't seem to get out, that one of the best first things you might do is stop digging. We need to have somebody that has that much common sense. If you don't have an extra $50 a month for the next 40 years to pay for SDS, which is going to go onto your water bill, you cannot afford to not vote for Dave Gardner. $50 a month for the next 40 years to pay for the infrastructure of SDS, not the operations and maintenance of it, not the security that'll be required, just that infrastructure. $1.2 billion, 120,000 customers. Do the math. I'll help you with it if you need help. My time is up. I'm here to tell you, vote. And we need people. We're going to need a lot of energy to get Dave Gardner elected in District 3. Good luck, Dave.
Thank you.